Oh, come on. Don't make it weird.
No. Make it weird.
Oh, you want me to make it weird?
Yeah, like really weird.
Okay. I think I can get behind that. I'm Harmony.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Make It Weird.
Hi. And welcome to Make It Weird. The podcast. The large cast?
Yes.
Oh, buddy, it's gonna be large.
It's gonna be a large cast?
It's gonna be a large cast.
Ooh.
Well, it could be small if you wanted to. It can be whatever size you desire. Some would say it's
size
too long.
doesn't matter from what I hear.
I've heard that my size of podcast is like the perfect size of
it's
podcast.
It's inadequate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been told
no,
this
it's
before.
not. I've actually been told that sometimes it's too much for people.
Of course. Yeah. I've heard that before.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing incredible. How are you doing?
I am doing better.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when were you doing not good?
Before I came over here.
Oh.
Not like bad, but I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Oh.
You know,
great.
like,
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. No, you're good.
It just happens sometimes.
Oh, I understand.
We
Absolutely.
wake up and we don't want to go to work.
I want to do I want to do in that very moment.
Yeah.
What I have decided that I want to do right then that's going to give me the quickest satisfaction.
The highest level of dopamine as quick as possible.
Exactly. And for you, what is that?
Sewing.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
For me, that is sitting on my couch with a cup of tea and watching TV with my dogs.
Specifically Bridgerton or Pride and Prejudice.
Sure, but there's no new Bridgerton episodes out.
Oh,
so.
okay. I don't know anything about that. So.
I've actually, I felt really stupid. I love Handmaid's Tale, and this is the final season. I just didn't know it was out.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I got a whole fucking season, so I've been binging the shit out of that. Yeah.
I honestly have not watched Handmaid's Tale.
I like it. It's gone on for a very long time at this point.
About
so I think,
9 or 10 years.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, the first season aired like one of the first years that I was up in New York.
Wow, it has been going on for that long. Yeah, it's one of those that I would be jealous of someone to be able to binge the whole thing because I think it would be more digestible to watch it all at once because I've had so much time in between all these seasons and I watch them as they come out like on a weekly basis. So yeah, I like them.
I watched the first episode when the seasons were like coming out way back when. And it hit like a little too close to home for me on some
it's
topics.
hard to watch.
So I turned it off and I cried and I never went back. I've heard it's an incredible show. I just don't think that I have.
It gets so much worse. So
perfect.
Yeah, it's a show about rape. Like, that's not what it's about.
No, but that's what it's about. No, it is. They cannot
episode like
they cannot provide consent.
Exactly.
There is a power imbalance. Consent cannot be given.
Yep.
It is literally using women as incubators.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I think that even nowadays, sorry, not to get too political. You know what?
Whatever.
Can I get a little political?
Go for it.
Give me a second. I want to make sure that I get her fucking name right because this shit pissed me off. Have you heard about the woman in Georgia?
Oh, yes, the woman who was brain dead and they forced her to stay alive so that she could give birth to her baby.
Her name is Adriana Smith.
Thank you.
Yep. She went into the hospital because she was having really bad headaches. They denied her treatment and she went in later, fell into a coma. Yes, they denied her treatment. I had read in some places because of her status as being pregnant, but I don't know for certain. Don't quote me on that. And then, she was put into a coma. She became brain dead, and they kept her alive as a fucking human incubator. And it's a really fucking heartbreaking story. I'm very sorry to bring the mood down. We'll get it back up in a little bit, but I think it's incredibly important to highlight the fact.
It is an important one, especially right now.
One day, I'm going to do a topic that is all about the beginnings of gynecology. No, it's fucking horrific.
I believe that.
It is absolutely horrific. There were women that were enslaved who were forced to undergo all sorts of treatments without anesthesia. And this is just a continuation of Black women being fucking like treated as literal test dummies and objects for the medical community to do fucking experiments on. That's what this is an experiment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope you are all having the best day that you can. Let's get back into some jokes now that we've had a little bit of fucking...
Let's do it. And when this episode comes out, it is going to be a little late for the occasion, but it is June right now while we're recording, and we wanted to do a special Pride episode.
Yeah.
Because it's Pride and everyone's gay, and I love it.
Hell yeah! Are you kidding me?
I have a dry erase calendar, and I write in the month every month, and I wrote in June parentheses gay.
Hell, fuck yeah! It's so gay.
It's so gay, and I love it.
Yes, gay.
Yes, gay.
Yes.
Go off, gay.
Yeah. So for this episode, we decided to both choose epic
topics about Pride.
Epic topics about Pride.
Yeah.
Or just like tangentially related to like gayness.
Yeah.
LGBTQ, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it all gayness. We're all gay.
The gayness.
The gayest of gays.
The gayest of gays. The gay virus, as they say. Be careful, you'll catch it.
Is that on the gay agenda?
Yes, it is. It's the number one topic on the list. Second is carabiners, but that's for the lesbians.
Oh, we're gonna get into lesbians today. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think because mine's gonna be pretty short, and then you can finish things off in a gay way.
Oh, it's gonna be so gay. Mine's also kind of short. This might just be a shorter episode.
Short episode for the short gays.
Yeah, for a little bit of context, we recorded like 3 episodes today, and we did not really give ourselves a lot of time to prepare.
But we're ready. We got this. I got a good old topic.
For motherfucking short. Bitch.
I realize I don't actually know the answer to this question, but have you been to a Pride parade?
I actually have not.
Oh man, we gotta go to one.
I know. I really want to. I was invited to do it with a roller derby team a couple of years ago.
That's right.
And I don't remember what happened. I think I had other stuff going on, and I just didn't. Yeah. I really want to go to one. I really want to go to one in P-Town in Cape Cod in Massachusetts.
I would love to do that.
That's the gay capital of the United States, I've heard, is P-Town, Province Town.
Penis Town. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. But it's, I think it'd be fun.
I would love to go to one with you. So I've actually only been, have I only been to one? I think only one, but the one that I got to go to was, speaking of epic.
Yeah.
Because it was when I was working at my previous company, we got to actually walk in the parade in Santa Monica, on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Wait, what the fuck? How did I not know that?
Yeah. It was like 4 summers ago. Krista was there. We got to go together.
What the fuck?
I know, yeah. I'm pretty sure I still have my gay Crafton shirt. It's just Crafton in rainbow, you know.
Craftondies gays.
Craftondies gays?
Yeah, Crafton. I really had to hold back Craftondies nuts. You can hear it in my voice.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Gotta practice restraint.
Even though you said it anyways.
Unlike the government on Black women's bodies.
Let's go. Anyways, yeah, I don't think anyone had a fucking clue what Crafton was. It's very funny to me that but anyways, we got to walk.
Wait. Do they know now what Crafton is?
The gay people? No.
The gays famously don't play video games. We know that because there are no gays in video games.
God, oh my God.
Famously a straight hobby.
Anyways, well, yes. Anyways, I had the pleasure of walking in that Pride parade. It was wonderful. Had so much fun. Yeah.
You continue. I have a little video game gay fun fact.
Oh, tell me.
So The Sims, the first Sims. Well, first of all, Sims was really revolutionary in that it allowed you to have same-sex characters marry each other. And EA, I think it was Maxis maybe, whoever owned The Sims whenever it was first coming out on computer, The Sims 1, was like, no, don't put that in to the coders. Said like, just, you know, men and women. And there was a rogue coder who was like, fuck you, I'm not changing the code. And he left it in, and it became one of the big things about The Sims that people love.
I love that. And I love that too because that would have been a team effort because code can't go out without somebody testing it. So somebody saw that and they were like, keep that, let that go through.
Yeah.
So I think that's incredible. Love.
The gays do love games.
Yes. I work with gay people in gaming industry. That was very much a joke. Anyways.
No, you don't. Gay people don't exist.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
Stop apologizing for your jokes. They're funny.
I can't help but apologize. It's who I am.
When we get the hate mail, that's when you apologize.
No. That's when I won't apologize.
When we get hate mail?
All right.
Okay.
Anyways. All right, let's go back to June of 1986. In this very same area on Santa Monica Boulevard, there was a woman in her 80s sitting tall in the front seat of a white Cadillac convertible leading this Pride Parade as Grand Marshal. But what the heck is an elderly straight woman leading one of the biggest Pride parades in California?
Yeah, tell me. I'd love to know.
What the fuck is she doing there?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. This woman was Evelyn Hooker. I'm going to try so hard not to make hooker jokes this whole time. Sorry.
Because I look like a hooker. God, I miss Euphoria. Speaking of the gays.
I love Euphoria. Yeah, the gayest of shows. Such a good gay show. God. Anyways, are you done? Okay,
That's it. That's all I got for Euphoria. Oh my gosh. That brought us together.
It did.
That show really brought us together.
I was honestly surprised that you watched it because I was already
kidding?
I don't know. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be your thing, and I was like, "You should watch it." And you were like, you just texted me one night, and you were like, "Oh my god, I started watching Euphoria. I can't stop watching it." And then we finished the season together.
Yeah.
And we were screaming when what's his face got shot. Oh my
Ashtray.
god.
His name? What's his face? Ashtray.
Remember Ashtray. Don't remember the Alamo. Remember Ashtray.
My now ex, Justin, watched the second episode of the series finale, the one where they do the play at
Oh my god.
school. He watched
So
it.
good.
He was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "I don't have time to explain this to you." And he
Literally
stood there.
no.
He stood there in the living room for like 45 minutes.
I love when people in the same house, someone walks by like, "Oh, what are you watching?" And they stand there and they watch the whole fucking thing. I love that. It's so funny.
I don't want to watch Twilight.
Who's that? What? Why did he? Oh my god, he saved her from the car.
Okay, we need tell me. Okay. Tell me about Miss Hooker. Hardly know her.
Evelyn Hooker.
Yeah.
A retired psychologist from UCLA who 3 decades earlier published a paper in which she cautiously concluded that homosexuality was not a mental illness, as most psychiatrists at the time assumed. Evelyn was responsible for conducting what was considered the first careful, controlled scientific study of the mental health of gay people. And when the American Psychiatric Association decided to remove homosexuality from the second edition of its Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Psychiatric Disorders in 1973, Hooker's study was a major piece of evidence used to attack the idea that homosexuality was a sickness, a psychopathological condition in the jargon of psychiatry. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah.
Yeah. She kicks ass.
Yeah, she kicks ass.
That's it. That's all
That's
I really
it.
got. I love this woman. We stan Evelyn
But okay,
Hooker.
look at this really cute picture of her in the parade.
Oh,
Isn't she
with
fucking
her
adorable?
little bucket hat.
She has a little bucket hat on, glasses. I assume she's sitting with a friend, but like
I have those glasses.
you do. She just looks like she's having a great time, and I love it. All right, so we're gonna talk about Evelyn because she's really fucking awesome.
Oh, please tell me.
All right, so Evelyn Hooker was born in 1907 in North Platte, Nebraska, the 6th of 9 children, raised unfortunately in poverty, weirdly at the home next door to Buffalo Bill. Just a random factoid.
I'm sorry. When I think Buffalo Bill,
Mhm.
I think Silence of the Lambs.
Not the same one.
Okay.
not Lotion Man.
Lotion Man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land. It's a song called Ocean Man. Silence of the Lambs, also a gay movie.
Yeah. It is. Hell yeah, Jodie Foster.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways,
The gay man is the villain. Wait, is he gay? Trans? I don't know.
I
I've
don't know if they
never thought
really.
about it. All I know is Goodbye Horses fucking slaps. And it puts the lotion on its skin.
Mm-hmm.
Or else it gets the hose again.
Exactly.
And then he drops his little dog.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a couple of years.
Honestly,
actually.
I like watching that one during Halloween.
We
'cause
should
it's a
watch
good
that this
one.
year.
Let's do it.
That and Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, continue on. I'm so sorry. I'm
You're
so
good.
sorry.
But yeah, really random. Lived next door to Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill being not the serial killer from Silence of the Lambs, but rather the like Western stunt guy. I don't know much about him.
Okay.
He did Western shows and like stood up on horses and stuff. I'm pretty sure. Maybe.
You ever heard of horse diving? I can't derail.
Girl.
Keep going.
All right. So Evelyn's mother, why did they write this twice? Evelyn's mother, a hardworking mother with only a 3rd grade education, told Evelyn, quote, "Get an education. They can never take it away from you."
Damn fucking straight.
Damn fucking straight. So by age 12, Evelyn had attended a string of one-room schoolhouses and lived on rented farmland in Colorado. Her mom sounds really cool because her mom really seems to like want to get her in school and like does a lot for their like moving around of their family to get her through school, which is really neat. So her mom moved the family to Sterling so that Evelyn could attend a proper high school. And the teachers there had master's degrees, which was extraordinary for that time and place. And it was there through an honors psychology course that she found her calling. So in 1924, she became a student at UCB, University of Colorado Boulder, I believe, while working.
Go Boulders.
Go Boulders. Love rocks. While working as a maid for a rich Boulder family, her mentor, Carl Munzinger, guided her in her challenge of the then prevalent psychological theory of behaviorism. Fun fact, I got my degree in behavior analysis.
I have never asked you what you've gotten your degree in.
It's useless.
You ever asked what I got my degree in?
These nuts!
Nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
You
I
could have
never.
at least gotten it.
I never finished school. I actually regret not going back to school.
I mean, you always could.
No.
Okay. It's expensive. I wouldn't suggest it for that reason.
It's expensive, and I don't have the fucking time anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know what it would do for you other than give you a good experience, like career-wise.
Yeah.
Unless you were going to do something really specific.
Exactly.
I genuinely, like, behavior analysis is the analysis of behavior, and I learned how to kind of train animals and people a little bit. That's about it.
Have you trained me?
To be my friend, yes.
Oh.
Treat?
Yes.
All right. So after receiving her master's degree, she became one of 11 women involved in the PhD program in psychology at Johns Hopkins University, having been refused referral from the chairman of Yale for being a female. Classic time.
What a bitch.
What a bitch. Despite dealing with what I can imagine is all kinds of sexism during her schooling, she left Johns Hopkins with her PhD in 1932 and got her first teaching job at a women's college.
Okay.
After teaching for only a year at the Maryland College for Women, she unfortunately contracted tuberculosis, and she had to spend the next year in a sanatorium in Arizona. But thankfully, she made a full recovery.
Okay.
Incredible for the time, because you never know. TV
for
at
real.
that time. And that's when she decided to move to Southern California, where she began teaching at Whittier College. In 1937, she traveled to Berlin to study psychotherapy. This part of her history is so interesting to me.
Berlin, famously gay.
I thought you were going to say Berlin, barely know her.
Berliner, hardly know her.
But yeah, Berlin, super gay.
The gayest.
I don't, why?
What?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, all I know about Berlin is sex clubs and just, like,
Sure, yeah,
very, like, gay.
That's just Europe.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I didn't learn that on my trip to Europe.
I would hope not. You were underage.
I was 18.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like 15. Gotcha.
What the fuck?
You said it was in high school, wasn't it?
It was my senior. It was my senior trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, so she traveled to Berlin, and she actually ended up living with a Jewish family, and that meant that she had a front row seat to Hitler's rise.
Wow.
Yep, because this is 1937. So she very sadly learned later on that the Jewish family she lived with was killed in a concentration camp.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And shortly before returning home, Evelyn went on a group tour to Russia, and she arrived just after one of Stalin's like major purges. So she is in this time and this place. It's just like trying to study.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even
what
fucking
year
imagine.
is it?
37.
37.
That's when she got to Berlin. I don't know when Russia is in this, but yeah. But the events that Evelyn sees in Europe are ultimately like kind of what spark her desire to help overcome social injustice, which I can fucking imagine having a front row seat to watching Jews being murdered. Like, it's, yeah. Unfortunately, when she returned home to continue teaching at the job she had before at Whittier, she was actually turned away because of this immense fear everyone had at the time around the war, and they were concerned that Evelyn could be holding subversive political views based on her time in totalitarian Europe. And this was like a common thing. People that were living there, when they try to come back, like, people are afraid of them, and the values they might hold, they could have changed or whatever. So she did appeal to UCLA's psychology chair, Knight Dunlap. Apparently he was known as being like super sexist and didn't like women at the time. Classic. And he offered her just a research associate role, explaining that the department already had three women who were, quote, cordially disliked.
Okay.
People
I
say
wonder.
that about me all the time. What?
That was my nickname in high school.
Cordially disliked?
Damn straight.
That wasn't your nickname. That's just what people said.
Honestly, probably very true.
Honestly, same. It was a big school. There were enough people that were similar to me that liked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many kids were in your school?
A lot. I graduated with like 900 kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was like a 3,000 kid school or something ridiculous.
My graduating class was, I think, 330-ish.
I would have much rather that number. Like, I would see people out like at the mall or something, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm in your graduating class. I'd be like, I've never fucking seen you in my life. Like, yeah, I would have preferred to kind of not know, but like be aware of most of the people in your class. But yeah, I kind of am jealous of people that have like 100. where they like knew everyone? No,
I am not.
No? Oh,
No.
okay.
No, but that's just, I think that if I was maybe a little bit more normal, I would be okay with that. But being a weird kid in a very, like, not even a very small school, but being a weird kid in a smaller school in the area, like that already made me feel singled out.
I get that, yeah, because there was definitely like there were plenty of groups in our school. Like you could kind of find your niche. There was a goth group for sure. Like there were a lot of kids in it. Like yeah, I don't know. And I threw rocks at them. Kidding.
Did you really?
No,
we had a kid throw rocks at us.
Oh, are you serious?
I am 100% serious. He was the vice principal's kid.
Oh, fucking hell.
And we got in trouble because my friend at the time, Ian, threw the rock back.
And you got in trouble?
Yes. Ian got called to the office. And the kid was like, we had security cameras. And the kid went to his dad and was like, well, I just threw it in that general direction. I didn't mean to hit them.
Piece of shit.
But like there were multiple rocks thrown, so okay, kid. It's fine. Anyway.
Don't throw rocks at friends.
You know who wouldn't throw rocks at their friends? Evelyn Hooker.
Oh, okay. Gays. So Evelyn joined UCLA's Extension Division where she met Sam Frum, a student in one of her classes. A quote from Evelyn, "It quickly became clear that Sam Frum was very bright. For his part, Frum went away from, it's awkward to say. Frum went away from the first session of Evelyn's class and told friends that his new teacher was, quote, another Eleanor Roosevelt, a woman of high ideals who spoke her mind."
Aww.
Yeah, they have a very sweet relationship. So the two became friendly when Frum offered his professor, Evelyn, a ride from home after class. And when the course ended, Frum called Evelyn and Evelyn's husband at the time, and they all like hung out together for the first time. And after Frum visited, Evelyn's husband said, "You told me everything else about him. Why didn't you tell me he was queer?" Evelyn had never given the matter any thought and asked her husband how he knew. I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand this. I'm sure it's a joke from the time. Quote, "He did everything but fly out the kitchen window," he replied. I'm sure that's some kind of gay joke. It went over my head, much like flying out the kitchen window.
Your kitchen windows are notoriously high. Hard to fly out of.
Surprised, Evelyn accepted the information easily and continued their friendship. So Frum and his lover spent a good time with Evelyn and her husband. And on one occasion in 1945, the two couples went to San Francisco and took in a drag show at the Finocchio Club. Finocchio? I don't know. Some famous drag club. It's a famous North Beach night spot. God, imagine 1945 being like, you think of 1945 and you're like, drag? Like, yeah, how do they do it without getting fucking persecuted? Like,
right?
Yeah, it's very cool to think
very
about.
Underground. Drag is incredibly punk.
Oh, yeah. I can fucking imagine. We'll have to talk about that one day. But the group went back to their room at the Fairmont Hotel for a nightcap, and Frum told Evelyn, quote,
"For a nightcap?"
Mm-hmm.
What is a nightcap?
You don't know what a nightcap is?
What is a nightcap?
It's like a drink before you go to bed.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like the last drink of the night. Cap off the night.
That's really cute.
You haven't heard that before?
No, that's
so funny.
That's such a 40s thing.
Yeah.
Aww.
People still say it. Absolutely.
What people? Name one person aside from you.
Probably my mom.
I'll ask her when she comes up.
Yeah, she's definitely said nightcap at some point. It's not like I'm not saying it, but I've heard people say it in my lifetime. Like, yeah.
Oh, come over for a nightcap.
Come have a little nightcap with me. It's actually a glass of beer with a little hat on it.
I thought they were putting little caps on. I'll be really honest.
Oh, maybe that's what it's meant to be. You wear a nightcap and you have a drink. I could be wrong. I assumed it was like cap off the night, but
I don't know. I just because you got to put on your nightgown and your nightcap.
Your nightcap.
It makes you're finishing up the night. Yeah,
it's very cute. Anyways, all right. So they're having their nightcap, and Frum told Evelyn, quote, "Now we have let you see us as we are. It is your scientific duty to do a study of people like us." He told her that, basically because of everything that she had gone through in her studies and her degree, that he felt like it was up to her to study, quote, normal homosexual men, people like Frum, to prove that they're not inherently mentally ill. And I don't know. I really like this guy for kind of like, they have a really cool friendship, but at the same time, he was like, "You're in this position. Help us."
Yeah. And it sounds like she does.
And she does. It takes some time, but she makes it happen.
Yeah.
So at the time, this kind of a proposal was radical. Homosexuality was still a crime.
All those same saxophones.
Same-sex saxophone. The Cold War is brewing. The term, quote, normal homosexual was seen as an oxymoron. People were subjected to horrifying treatments, electroshock therapy, chemical castration, lobotomies.
Meanwhile, the U.S. government is firing off test nukes underground to see if we can frack.
Blowing up cows.
Yes.
Not blowing up, just give them a little bounce.
Give them a little shake.
A little shake.
Hey, make a milkshake.
Gay gatherings are being raided, lives are destroyed, and yet Evelyn agrees to take on this research. So in 1953, with encouragement from her friend and her colleague Bruno Klopfer, Evelyn applied for a grant from the National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH. She proposed to study, quote, normal homosexual men. This is men who haven't previously been seen for psychological help, in disciplinary barracks in the armed services, in prison, showing evidence of considerable disturbance, or, this last part makes me laugh, we're in therapy. Thankfully, we've come a little bit of way farther from then. And then comparing those men to matched heterosexual men.
Like same background, same age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So trying to grab, granted, I'm sure they were all probably white men, but still, trying to grab heterosexual and gay men of the same class, in being that they haven't had a lot of like psychological issues allegedly in their life. They should be quote unquote normal. Yeah. And comparing the two groups. Yeah. So she applies for this grant, even though she was warned it was very unlikely she would receive it due to the controversy of the topic. So the man in charge of awarding the grant, John Eberhardt, personally met with Evelyn, and he was convinced by her charm, and he awarded her the grant.
Wow.
Which is still incredible and crazy. Though federal officials mockingly dubbed it the Fairy Project, Evelyn pressed forward. Which honestly, they still refer to it that way, and I kind of love it.
No, I think I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
With help from the Mattachine Society, one of the earliest gay rights organizations, she recruited 30 exclusively gay and 30 exclusively straight men. Is anyone really exclusively straight? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Back then, you had two labels.
Yeah.
It wasn't the LGBTQIA+.
No.
It was just the G.
Just the G. Sometimes L. But you have to whisper it. Lesbian. All right, so matched for IQ, age, and education. While gay participants volunteered eagerly, straight men were much harder to find.
I wonder why.
Well, it's because being gay is contagious, so if you're too close to other gay people...
and you become gay.
You catch it and you get gay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful.
You really, yeah. It's a fucking virus. You'll start wearing clothes that actually fit you. Oh my God.
Oh, man. All right. So she conducted the study in a quiet room on her own property, far from campus, to protect participation and anonymity. Participants took 3 projective psychological tests. Now, the only thing I'll say is that these psychological tests, they're not really used anymore because they're not proven. But that being said, I still think, and it's still said, that this research is valid because it shows that the results from these tests cannot be differentiated by gay and heterosexual men. So the 3 tests they used were the Rorschach, the MAPS, and the TAT.
What are those? I know Rorschach is the ink blot test.
Yep, it's the ink blot test. And at the time, psychologists genuinely thought that they could tell if someone was gay by their results from the Rorschach, which is insane.
What do you see? A rainbow.
Gay.
Yeah.
Literally.
What do you see? RuPaul.
Gay.
RuPaul's not even alive yet. They're like, I don't know. I just see it's giving Ru and Paul.
He's got these glasses. Nice dark chocolate skin. Oh my God. Love it.
Sachet away.
All right. So MAPS is when the subject is presented with a series of background pictures, one at a time, and they're requested to populate the picture with one or more of a variety of figures, like subjects, into the background, mostly human, provided for the purpose, and then tell a story about the completed scene. The TAT is very similar. It's a tool that involves presenting participants with a series of cards and asking them to tell stories based on the images depicted in the cards. Honestly, sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, I think we should do that one day.
I think we should. The stories are recorded and transcribed for further analysis. So they did these 3 tests. All right, so they've done these tests with their 30 straight and 30 gay men. Evelyn hands the anonymized results to the 3 respected experts, Bruno Klopfer, Edward Schneidman, and Mortimer Meyer. These are all fake names. No fucking way. I'm just kidding. They're just like German. And they were asked to evaluate adjustment levels and identify which test results came from the gay participants.
Okay.
Guess what?
They couldn't tell?
They couldn't do it.
No way.
No way is right. So the clinicians failed to distinguish homosexual from heterosexual men at better than chance levels. Across both groups, 2/3 of participants showed average or better psychological adjustment. This part cracks me up. One of the experts, confident he could do better, asked to try again. Second round, still no better than a coin toss. What
No
a fucking
way.
dipshit. He's like, no, I swear I can tell that one is gay and one's not by their ink blot results. Hold on.
Okay.
Gay has to be an illness. I've been having gay thoughts for years.
What do you mean? I'm married with a wife.
I can't be ill. Oh, God. So Evelyn's study demonstrated that gay men were just as sane as straight men. There was no scientific evidence linking homosexuality with mental illness. Lesbians, on the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
Who could say?
Tell me these fucking lesbos.
No.
Oh.
No, that was a joke. That
Oh.
lesbians are crazy, and you could definitely tell.
Well,
I'm kidding.
it's because of the type of car that they drive, and they're so quick to move in with each other.
Exactly. And I don't know if you know this, but lesbians are born with a carabiner attached to their hip.
They're wearing little cargo jeans the second they come out of the womb. Carabiner and all.
Jordan's gonna love that joke. We talk about carabiners
And the little
all the
fucking
time.
rolled beanies.
Oh my God. Yes. All right. So Evelyn presents her findings in 1956 at the American Psychological Association's annual convention in Chicago. Her paper, called The Adjustment of the Male Overt Homosexual, was published the following year, and it rocked the profession.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, much like the underground drag clubs. For the first time, data, not fear, not prejudice, challenged decades of bias. Evelyn's findings paved the way for the 1973 decision by the American Psychiatric Association to remove homosexuality from the DSM-MD. And that's the
Their diagnostic manual, basically.
Yeah. I just don't want to say the whole thing again.
That's okay. That's a huge deal.
Huge fucking
That's
deal.
a massive deal.
It took a long time.
We've only got 5 of those volumes. We only have 5 of them.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, I think we're only on 5.
Can we share them? You gotta rent one?
What do you?
I
You can
assume
find
they're
them
on the
online.
internet. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
PDFs.
That's just funny that there's only like 5 like actual ones. I believe you.
Sorry, I wanted to double check. Yeah, we're only on 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Honestly, I should have majored in psych because I loved my psych classes. They were so good.
Yeah.
All right, so in 1991, the APA awarded her the Distinguished Contributions to Psychology in the Public Interest. The citation read, "Her pioneering study provided empirical evidence that normal homosexuals existed and supported the radical idea that homosexuality is within the normal range of human behavior."
Damn fucking straight. Damn fucking gay it is.
Damn fucking gay.
Damn
Exactly.
fucking gay it is.
She responded with humility and shared the award with the gay and lesbian community.
Oh.
She read aloud a letter from a gay man who wrote, quote, "I think you did it because you knew what love was when you saw it, and you knew that gay love was like all other love."
Fuck yeah.
So sweet. But her impact did not end with one study. She became chair of the NIMH Task Force on Homosexuality in 1967, and her life and work were celebrated in the 1992 documentary Changing Our Minds, the story of Dr. Evelyn Hooker. And her oral history is preserved in Eric Marcus's Making Gay History. In 2008, APA's Division 44, the Society for the Psychological Study of LGBTQ+ issues, established the Evelyn Hooker Award to honor allies in the fight for equality. And today, her research is still cited in their advocacy for LGBTQ rights. She helped transform a field, a culture, by insisting that science tell the truth even when society didn't want to hear it. Dr. Evelyn Hooker once said, quote, "One of the great joys of my life is that I was able to do something for the ordinary man and woman." And in doing so, she became extraordinary.
Fuck yes.
And that's the story of Dr. Evelyn Hooker.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's
I
a really
do
good one.
too.
Her name, like now that you told the story, kind of sounds like a little familiar, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not one that I remembered learning about. And thank you for sharing that.
I hadn't learned about it before, not to my knowledge at least. My little brain can't remember anything, but
Yeah, I think it's super important to realize that being gay, being trans, any of it, it's not new.
No, it's not fucking new.
Literally been around for thousands of years.
Yep.
It's had different names throughout the years. I'll talk about it some actually in my topic too.
Yee.
Speaking of, do you want to get into my topic?
I would love to get into your topic.
Okay.
Get right in there.
All right. So this topic will not be super long.
Okay.
But it should leave you feeling pretty satisfied.
Ooh.
Or it could be a little short. Could be whatever size you want it to be. It's really personal preference.
It's really up to me.
It's totally up to you.
As long as it leaves me satisfied. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Because today we are talking about the history of strap-ons.
Oh, hell yes. Are you kidding me?
No,
I love it. Oh my God.
A little bit about like dildos and sex toys in general.
Yes.
This topic's something that I've thought about and I've loved for like a really long time. Just general kink and sex history is really fun to research because many people think that we are the first generation to enjoy sex.
God, no.
We are not. For as long as humans have had holes or things to put into holes, they've been putting and shoving shit where it don't belong.
And they've been writing about it and making pictures and stories.
Damn straight. I am so sure that little caveman Tuk one time in a week of shame mulled his way over to a little dark corner of the cave and carved out a little hole in some rock.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure Miss Tuk, his wife, spent a decent amount of time carving a nicely shaped stone into what she wanted. But let's start all the way at the beginning.
Let's start at the very beginning.
Over 29,000 years ago.
Okay.
Which, by the way, if you didn't know, is a schlong time ago.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my God.
The first record we have for sex toys are from the Swabian Jura region of what is now modern-day Germany, where Neanderthals began carving rocks into penises.
Oh my God.
And these, they look like dicks. It's not, it is very distinct. It's very obvious what they are.
Oh my God, incredible.
Technically, we don't know what these were used for.
I was going to say ouch a little bit, but definitely a problem if inserted some places. A rock?
Yeah, polished.
Okay, polished. Okay. In my head, I'm
like
picturing like they carved off some pieces and it's very jagged. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
All right, polished? Sure, no problem.
Yeah. Technically, we don't know exactly what these were used for because all of the Neanderthals, except for my ex-boyfriend, are now dead. So we can't ask them directly. But what the fuck else are you using a rock shaped like a penis for?
Literally.
A fertility ritual? Be realistic. Come on. We saw similar items made out of stone, bone, and even teeth that have also been discovered in caves.
Vagina dentata.
Among other essential items like sewing needles and combs. So obviously this was a priority to them because you got to keep the essentials together.
Yeah.
We come
Listen,
out of...
everyone gets horny, okay?
For real.
Yeah, it gets in the way. It's distracting. Come on.
And if you're really feeling it, you got to use a horn.
Because you're horny.
Yeah.
For the horn.
Precisely. Mm-hmm. Coming out of the Stone Age, almost literally, in 500 BC, when ancient Greeks began making fake penises out of whatever the fuck they wanted to. They were being super experimental and trying out all sorts of new stuff, making them from brass, which sounds really cold, or stuffed leather, which sounds scratchy.
Yeah, that doesn't... okay. All right.
There were also references that I found of them making dildos out of old loaves of bread.
Oh.
Which to me... That kind of brings to mind some of those crazy urban legends that you would hear about, like, women using, like, carrots that they got from the store or, like, a lobster. You ever heard that?
No.
It's like this urban legend that went around my elementary or middle school. Yes, where it was like, oh, yeah, the girl went to the grocery store and picked a live lobster and put the tail in and did whatever. And then...
There's too many little pointy pieces there.
And they're like, oh, the lobster laid eggs in her and then they hatched and she died.
I thought you were going to say she laid eggs and had lobster babies.
I mean, lobster is bugs.
Yeah. Sex bugs?
Sex bugs and rock and roll. Sex bugs and rock and roll? Oh my God. New song.
New band, honestly. That's our band name. God, I can't wait.
But it also kind of reminded me of the Twilight shitposting group, The Post.
Ice PP?
The Ice PP. So we've mentioned it before, Twilight shitposting. There was a post that went viral where it was this Amazon review of somebody that got a dildo ice mold. and they were using it, and they were like, works really well, but be aware it gets sharp as it like melts,
and you're numb from the ice.
And she like allegedly stabbed her vagina and had to go to the ER.
Yes,
she was bleeding.
It resurfaced profusely. Like last week. I saw it again.
Yes. But in the Greek and Roman era is also where we see literature discussing the use of these fake dongs being used by people for pleasure.
Okay.
Specifically in terms of women pleasuring women. This also jumps back to like being gay, being a lesbian, non-binary, etc., etc. It's been fucking centuries.
Yes.
Centuries.
They weren't calling it that, but that's what it fucking was.
Have you ever heard the term sapphic? Like, oh, that's a sapphic love story.
No, I don't think so.
So it is usually described things that are lesbian in nature, like a Subaru Outback, very sapphic. But that term came from the name of an ancient Greek poet. She was highly acclaimed of her time, and she wrote about lesbian love very famously.
Okay.
And the word lesbian was derived from her home island, Lesbos.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, she was from the island of Lesbos.
Oh my god. How original.
Right? Grow up. So unfortunately, we don't have any copies of her poems, like complete copies. We only have fragments. But I love the idea of Miss Sappho and whoever she loved being able to engage in whatever intimate stuff they got on with using a hardened piece of bread.
Oh my god. Okay,
crummy.
I was gonna say I'm a little worried. The bread's gonna leave some things behind.
Vaginas are self-cleaning.
It's true, but like it's gonna take a little bit to get those out of there. Just like
oh yeah, no,
breadcrumbs be falling out for weeks.
Do you want ants? That's how you get ants.
Vagina ants. That's what the pubes are for.
The vagina troll.
Is it made of bread?
It eats the bread. You have to feed it.
You have to feed it.
Yes.
Okay.
There was an ancient playwright named Aristophanes who had a comedy called Lysistrata.
I thought you were absolutely going to make an Aristophanes nuts joke.
No, this is a real name.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry I failed you.
No, you're good.
Ancient playwright Aristophanes nuts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Had a comedy named Lysistrata written in 411 BC, and it tells the story of women who attempt to end the Peloponnesian War by refusing to have sex until the men stopped fighting.
Good girls. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I'm sure it didn't work, but I like the strategy.
But the ladies in this play openly speak of their toys for pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Quote, and so, girls, when fucking time comes, not the faintest whiff of it anywhere, right? From the time those Malaysians betrayed us, we can't even find our 8-fingered leather dildos. Oh. 8-finger? I don't know what that means. I'm
imagining like a dildo glove.
With
8 fingers. All yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Huh.
Yeah.
A fresco discovered at the suburban baths in Pompeii, Italy, depicts a trio with a male anal penetration.
Oh.
And there's another fresco in Pompeii that depicts a woman penetrating another woman and a man with a strap-on.
Hell yeah. What year is this?
It's Pompeii.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It's forever ago.
When did Pompeii happen?
I think like 1975, I'm pretty sure.
You're right. Sex wasn't invented before 1967.
No, it hasn't been around.
Summer of Love.
Yeah.
But this suggests that strap-on sex was accepted and celebrated in ancient Italy.
Hell yeah.
Over in China, around what I saw was 200 BC, people were getting down and dirty over there too.
Of course they were.
In 2017, we actually found some sex toys in a tomb that were made of bronze and actually found with them leather and silk thongs, implying they were likely worn as strap-ons.
Ooh.
Han Dynasty? More like Dong Dynasty. They all
silk underwear. That's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little nice little straps, you know.
Yeah.
They also found a jade butt plug, which is incredible. They actually, though, believe that the jade butt plug piece was used to keep fluids inside the body after somebody died.
Oh, Jesus.
In this case...
That's less fun.
Yeah, I agree. In this case, it was a king who was, like, the guy who the tomb was for.
Okay.
The craziest thing, though, is just... like, these look like something that you could go down to the store and buy.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll down really quick.
Okay.
And show you.
Yeah. Those rock shops that we go to in Salem, I've seen those.
Oh my god, no, for real.
Literally.
Yes. Okay. Jumping to 1020 AD, It's a little quiet on the strap-on front for a while. We see the use of a strap-on called out directly in the Decretum, Book 19, by Burchard of Worms, who was the bishop of the imperial city of Worms.
Excuse me?
I'm imagining a tiny little town with a bunch of little worms, and one has a pope hat on.
Oh, wait, how do I want to move the imperial city of Worms? This is incredible.
I
Should
know,
we talk
right?
about that more later? God, okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
His series of 20 books were written kind of as a way to standardize things across the church.
Wow.
Book 19 was all about sins and the required penances for the sins. One of the sins, translated from Latin, reads, "Have you done what women are..." Why did I go Transylvanian? That's not what I wanted.
I keep it. Okay.
"Have you done what women are wont to do, to make a certain device in the form of a male member to the measures of your will, and to tie it to your own or another woman's genitals with some ties, and commit fornication with another woman or others with the same instrument, or with another with you?" AKA, yo dog, you make a dick and you fuck somebody with it?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we see that written down.
You sounded like Nadja.
When?
She sounds like that.
Does she?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes her voice, it's usually when she's trying to hypnotize someone, she's like, "You will not remember this for tomorrow."
Okay. Well, like, that's literally written out word for word, written evidence of a strap-on.
By a religious
By a
dude?
religious leader.
A religious of Worms, but you know.
So, like, that right there tells you that this is prolific enough.
Yeah.
That it was notated about and considered a sin that needed to be talked about in Book 19 of the Decorum.
Mm-hmm.
The Decretum.
The
Decretum. Hardly know him.
Decretum these nuts.
Decretum these nuts.
Oh, okay.
In the Middle Ages, we actually see, too, this is kind of sad, the first instance of a woman executed for homosexuality.
I was going to say medieval bitches. They got real intense real fast.
I know, right?
Okay.
Fucking 0 to 100. I mean, this is like 450 years later, but still.
Still, medieval
still
was not a
stands.
great time to be anything but a pretty rich white woman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This trial is actually really well documented. There's a bunch of stuff that, I mean, because it's a woman being, you know, tried for homosexuality. Of course, we're going to fucking dig.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
There's a book entitled Female Sodomy, The Trial of Katharina Hetzeldorfer, 1477, by Helmut Puff. An incredible name. Incredible name, considering the context.
Okay.
But it goes over this whole trial in length. But from the court text itself, quote, "She made an instrument with a red piece of leather at the front filled with cotton and a wooden stick stuck into it, and made a hole through the wooden stick to put a string through and tied it round, and therewith she had her roguery with 2 women."
That's very inventive. I'm picturing it in my head. I'm like, yeah, you did what you could with what you had. It's very smart.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Dr. Bonash Kane, a lecturer in medieval history at Cardiff University, also says, too, leather was a common fabric used as a cover for strap-ons and dildos at the time, as these could be filled with materials to provide stiffness and comfort.
I love that they're persecuting her for having sex with another woman or women, but like if you went to a brothel at that time, they'd be watching women having sex night and day. They love that shit. Yeah.
It's fine. It's only an issue when women are getting pleasure.
Exactly. Yeah,
I read this really interesting essay piece that actually talked about this and how the church felt threatened because women would possibly begin seeking out their own pleasure instead of relying on the men around them to provide that for childbirth.
Yeah.
Things, once again, get pretty...
Sorry, because that's all.
No, go ahead.
That's all they're able to give it for is childbirth.
You're not wrong.
Listen, medieval, they're not exactly like trying to figure out how to please their women. Yeah.
Some of them get down and dirty. You ever read some of them?
Woo, buddy. Great for them. My assumption is that they all fucking suck and they're not trying to make women have a good time. I could be wrong.
I think the people that are barely surviving day to day likely were engaging in missionary with the lights off because they didn't have electricity, hole in the sheets, or the pile of hay, you know. But like kings, queens, dukes, duchesses, those that had money and free time, were fucking horny.
Oh yeah, and they were having like orgy parties and shit, like
for sure.
Yeah.
Stinky. Imagine these smells.
Oh god, I can't. Imagine the smell when they're all clean and not having sex. It's already bad. So
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Are you from medieval times?
Aye.
Aye,
that's I am.
Great.
Great to meet ya.
Continue, please.
Keep your feet on the ground. Anyway, things once again stay pretty quiet until the 18th century, where we see more blatant art of women on women action.
Ooh.
A la strap-on time.
Let's go.
This is the kind of art that I'm not showing you. You can look it up on your own. The ones that I specifically saw were made in 1795 by Marquis de Sade in his book Philosophy in the Bedroom.
Ooh.
You can see everything.
Wow.
Lips.
Sorry, these are like depictions, like
yes,
drawn diagrams and stuff.
Not like diagrams. It's art.
Oh, okay.
It's art, but you can see all the lips, all 3 sets.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Lisa Blake, writing about dildos and ornamentalism, the art of Renaissance accessories, she points out that there were also ads for dildos that could, like, spray out warm milk if that was your thing.
No.
Yes, in the 18th century.
That's not very sanitary.
Tell me about it. She also states that dildos and strap-ons became, quote, more culturally visible, and they developed more of a luxury connotation, which was completely removed from their actual use or representation of a penis. Like, it was, oh, you are rich, you have a dildo on display.
Yeah.
Not on display, but like, you had one.
That was like, I don't know who or what time, but like, like a little after Renaissance time, when they would go over to like the Queen's Palace or whatever, she would like have a tit out like, for parties and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
I do that still.
Tit on display. But it was literally one. It would be like one tit out. I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyways.
But I wrote here, it was like, OMG, look at my labubu. But instead of a labubu, it's a penis.
Fucking labubus, get the fuck out of here. I hate them.
I kind of want
Don't you dare. Do never bring one of those into my house.
Why?
Those are
cute.
demon filled. I don't want those near me.
You don't like them?
No.
Yeah, it's a girl.
I don't care.
It's a girl.
I don't care.
That's
I saw a video.
Rude. I have one getting delivered to your house.
Fuck.
We're gonna open them on the podcast.
Not in this house.
Why?
Oh my god. I saw a video of someone saying that labubus are just Beanie Babies for this generation.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah.
They are for certain.
But Beanie Babies were like cute.
I think the labubus are cute.
No, their teeth are You know what? Their teeth are like Adventure Time teeth, that style.
You don't like that. Yeah.
So I fucking hate the labubus. She texted me the other day and was like, what do you think about labubus? And I said, la no no.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. And I was like, well, okay. The funny thing was, I hadn't really heard of them until I saw a video on YouTube that was like, over-consumerism is destroying the country.
Yeah.
And they talked about labubus, and I was like, wait,
What?
it's kind of cute.
You would think it's cute.
So back to Miss Lisa Blake. Blake explores the vocabulary of dildos, including various theories on the origin of the word dildo. Most believe it was first referenced directly to as a sex toy in Thomas Nash's The Choice of Valentines in 1592.
Okay.
Later references attribute the origin of the word to Italy, an adaptation of diletto, meaning pleasure. But there's also reference in English ballads of dildo, meaning nonsense, which that use continued through the 17th century.
I wouldn't call them nonsensical so much, but...
Fortunately for us, though, I have here a definition of the word dildo written in 1793 by James Caulfield in A Dictionary of Roses. Quote, dildo, an implement resembling the viral member for which it is said to be substituted by nuns, boarding school misses, and others obliged to celibacy or fearful of pregnancy.
Oh!
Dildos are made of wax, horn, leather, and diverse other substances, and, if fame does not lie more than usually, are to be had at many of our great toy shops and knickknackeries.
Yes! I love that!
Yeah, so what I also found really fascinating about this specifically, why I brought it up, was the use of dildos specifically as an instrument of pleasure to avoid pregnancy.
Yeah! It's very rare that you would ever hear it described that way, because that was also a sin. You're not supposed to fucking touch yourself. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, I also saw, there was a really interesting essay that I kind of parsed through, and I grabbed a little snippet here or there from. It was the one that I actually talked about Miss Lisa Blake and her writings, talking about... androgyny and hermaphrodism and the way that word has changed way back in the Maybach, like talking 17th, 1600s, somewhere around there. They would actually refer to women who masturbated as hermaphroditic, or if you had an enlarged clitoris.
Wow.
Because you were demonstrating male like tendencies.
Yes, because enlarged clitoris is the same as a penis.
What is the large clitoris but a tiny little dong? Well, I just thought it was really interesting. I didn't really touch on a lot of that, just because I felt like that fell a little bit more into, I don't know, like, it just wasn't really within the scope of this.
Yeah.
So,
quick side note, when you and I watched the New Girl episode about Prince, we also need to watch the one about the micro penis.
Okay. Who has it? Is it Nick?
No.
Oh.
It's not. It's a new character.
Oh.
And he's some famous, I don't know, actor or something. Okay. It's really fucking funny, though.
I believe you.
Okay, anyways.
Jumping to 1899, Michael Haberlandt did an ethnographic study in Zanzibar that was subsequently published in the 1988 book entitled Boy Wives and Female Husbands, Studies in African Homosexualities.
I like the term boy wives.
Yeah?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
I think that's cute. Little boy wife.
I don't like the idea of a boy being married or a wife.
Oh, no. I guess I'm thinking just like your little gay boy husband. You call him your boy wife.
Go tell Bobby he's your little boy wife. Good Lord. No, I think that they just mean like, you know, feminine men and masculine women within a marriage and what that all looks like. That it was published in 1988 and it was originally studied in 1899. Like we got a lot of room for growth here.
Just a smidge.
But in it, amongst other things, there is described 3 sex acts that women enjoyed with one another in Zanzibar. Kulambana, which is to lick another. Kusagana, to rub the private parts up against each other. And, Kujitia Mbo ya Mpingo, to furnish oneself with an ebony penis, which was their version of a strap-on.
Okay. Wait.
Don't ask me to repronounce any of those. I'm sure I fucked them up.
No. I think you did a great job. Oh, no, I was laughing about how they said they call them private parts, but we're literally talking about, like, sex acts, like, but they're still, like, private parts.
That's me condensing shit from the
internet. Okay. I remember, like, I hate the term private parts. That was, like, whenever you're a kid, it's like, that's your private area. Your private parts.
What did you grow up calling it?
Private area.
Just private area?
Private area or private parts.
Moo-moo.
Who told you to call it that?
I don't know, my mom.
Moo-moo?
Yeah.
You know that's a piece of clothing.
Now I do. It was like moo-moo or mooey. Like, it was just kind of...
Yours specifically was called moo-moo?
It was just like, yeah, like, you gotta go to the bathroom and wipe your moo-moo. I bet she doesn't even remember that anymore.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But I remember, like, as a kid, I would see cows saying moo in, like, books or whatever, and I'd kind of laugh a little bit and be like...
That's inappropriate.
That's your parts.
Moo-moo.
Yeah.
You're the moo-moo.
Back to the strap-ons in Zanzibar.
Thank you.
It was an ebony bone that was attached to a cord that was tied around the body and was hollow so that warm water could be poured in to evoke ejaculation.
Wow. They're like doing the whole thing here.
Haberlandt wrote, quote, "It is considered an Arabic invention."
Wow.
So this was allegedly brought to Zanzibar by Arabic people when they were like moving around, traveling and trading, and they were doing Lord knows what over there. All right. But
incredible.
1960 is where we really see the beginning of like what we know today as strap-ons, like soft, squishy silicone friends. All thanks to, do you want to guess what the job was of the person who really invented the strap-on in the 1960s?
I don't know, like baby bottle tops, or what else is silicone?
A puppeteer.
Oh my god, no.
A ventriloquist.
Not what I have guessed.
Yes.
Oh my god.
1960s ventriloquist Ted Marsh, his close friend, came to him and was like, "Hey man, my dong don't work. Can you use your puppet making skills to fashion a prosthetic penis for me?"
Oh my god.
Because he wanted to please his wife. Which I think that
That's
there
really sweet.
is also kind of like a revolutionary thought of like a man using a prosthetic penis.
Yes.
To pleasure his wife.
That's incredible.
Which also tells me 2 things. Number 1, bitch was horny. And number 2, she nagged him. She was like, "I don't know, man. What are you gonna do?
If you can't figure it out, I'm gonna go find another one."
I'm gonna go talk to Jane down the street. She showed me what she got.
I'm 2 seconds away from being a lesbian, man.
But this is the first like real documented modern use of a strap-on dildo.
Nice.
In 1965, as Marsh was starting his family-run business with his wife and son, making sex toys.
Hell yes.
Sex toys were illegal unless they were being used as medical devices.
Yeah, for women's hysteria.
No, for people that had like erectile dysfunction.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His strap-ons were marketed as such, particularly as marital aids for men with erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
Marsh Manufacturing ran a factory on Hollywood Boulevard with 24 people making these devices in 4 sizes from 5 to 9 inches long.
Oh, girl.
And a color styled after his dolls.
Aww.
A pale flesh tone.
Racist.
I mean, it's...
I know. I know.
Thing. But that's okay, though, because a few years after Ted Marsh got into the business, Mr. Gosnell Duncan also hopped on the penis-shaped sex toy train and began offering strap-ons for paraplegics, quadriplegics, and others with disabilities.
Oh, I love that.
These dildos came in a range of colors and were solid, and they were made to sit above the pubic bone. They were custom-made to measurements provided by the buyers to the retailer.
This is so cool.
But imagine their surprise when a woman wrote into the company and they received letter after letter after letter, one writing, "I am a lesbian and I would like to know anything in that line."
Mm-hmm.
Core target audience found.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So while sex toys eventually were dubbed not obscene in different court cases, specifically Miller versus California came up a lot, which was a case where a man sent indecent, like, pornographic photos to a restaurant, and they opened up the letter and were like, "Oh my God." And it was this whole thing about, like, what is obscene, what can be sent, how, you know, do we define this, and what's the punishment? But they determined that sex toys were not obscene.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But being a lesbian or engaging generally in same-sex intercourse was a crime all the way up until 2003.
God,
I forgot what state it was specifically, but 2003 was the last law getting overturned.
Yeah, we all think of this as being ages ago. Same with slavery. It wasn't that fucking long ago.
It really was not. This is our generation.
Yeah.
In all 50 states in the U.S. now, as of 2025, that might change, who fucking knows, same-sex couples can now get married and can adopt children. Sexual identity is currently a protected class, and anti-discrimination laws are on the books all across the country. What blows my mind, though, about all of this is that even though, as we talked about, there are literally thousands of years of evidence that same-sex love has existed all over the globe between every culture, every continent, country, etc., it's still looked down upon. Things are improving. A Gallup poll has found that while the number of people who said same-sex relationships were morally acceptable and who supported same-sex relationships rose from 40 and 27% respectively in 1996 to 72 and 71% respectively in 2022, we still have so far to go. There is still a large percent of the population that doesn't like people that engage in same-sex relationships.
We have very loud about it.
They are incredibly loud, and we have so many people that are so outspoken against, like, being trans, and it all throughout history too. I'm sorry, we talked about this briefly. I, like, kind of went off a little bit here because I got so mad, like, seeing all this evidence of, like, this is what people are.
Yes, and have been forever.
Yes. There have been trans people all throughout history with the concept of being a different gender than what you were assigned at birth, crossing cultural boundaries across the globe. And we know this for a fact because we have access to so many examples of written documentation for people who either identified as trans or were close to somebody who identifies as trans. And for those that didn't document their lives on paper, whose documentation was lost, anthropologists make it their entire study, not just in documenting a body, but instead learning as much as possible about a person through cultural context that they lived in. So don't give into that fucking bullshit about, oh, scientists can tell that you were born a boy or a girl, because it's not fucking true. And even if it is, they haven't proved it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter, because even if that matters, you'll be dead by then. Who fucking cares? Live your life. Yes. Love who you want. Be who you want.
Live your fucking life.
Happy Pride.
Yay! Happy Pride! Is that it?
That's it. Trans rights are human rights.
Yes, they are. It doesn't... The thing that gets me is, like, why is it my fucking business? I don't care. Like, I'm not having a sexual relationship with you and the rest of the fucking world. I have that with one person that I choose. It is not... I don't fucking care what you're getting up to. Do what you want. It doesn't fucking affect me.
You know what I think will fix all of it, very frankly? You ever been to a nice hotel and you go into the bathroom and it's literally walls?
Yeah,
and
like floor to ceiling, like you...
There you go. That's all of our bathrooms.
Yep.
Communal sinks, individual rooms for toilets.
Yes, it's also a big thing in the U.S. How big the gaps are in our stall doors. That doesn't that's not other countries. That's us. I don't know why. Fucking, I hope it's not for some disgusting reason. But, like,
I think I told you at work, all of the stalls in the women's bathrooms have, like, foam or plastic extended that's been put there because people got caught trying to sneak in.
Yeah.
Men got caught trying to sneak in.
Of course they fucking did. Why are the gaps so big? Why are they so big? Like, yeah, anyways. It's not your fucking business what people do in their own goddamn time. It doesn't affect you. Calm the fuck down. If it doesn't align with your benefits, guess what? You don't have to have sex with them.
Yeah.
End of story.
Did I ever show you, there's this funny little video, and it's, like, this guy, and he's interviewing these, like, hillbilly hicks, and they're like, well, we went ahead and got gay married because the government's going to make us do it anyway. And then they're like, yeah, we adopted a child because they're going to make us do that anyway. So we're going to get in front of it. We kiss every night because the government says we have to. It's very funny.
I love that.
It's really good.
No, but that reminds me of Mean Girls in the very beginning when she's talking about her time in Africa and there's that like southern kid. I don't even know what he says, but he's like, and the homosexual. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh man.
That was great though. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your story. I loved this episode. I think this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is very, very fun. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride, yeah. It makes me very mad that we can't just leave people to do what they fucking want.
Do whatever you want. Live your life. We only get one, allegedly. I don't know.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
Love thy fucking neighbor. Love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor. And if your neighbor is attractive and you're into that, love them that. Even better. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I think that's really about it, huh?
Yeah. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride, and keep on
making it weird. Goodbye, gay.
Bye, gay.
Bye, gay.
Bye, gay.
If you liked our episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Make It Weird Pod.
Got something weird you want to share with the world? Send it over to us at makeitweirdpod@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to Make It Weird.
Bye!